The FlowerTrials just wrapped up over in Germany.
Yeah, I love every flower show. Here is every flower show ever.
Literally.
Yeah.
A buffet of hostas.
I'm sure the deer named that one.
They are pollen-free. So you know how they usually have the little...
You touch them and you got Cheeto fingers.
Exactly. So it's a new pea variety specifically for pots.
Okay. I was literally
this sort of line of osteospermum called gelato, which sounds delicious, but you can get... What?
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
Hey, before we start the podcast, can I show you something?
Yeah, what's going on?
So I'm super excited. Look at this. Look at this. It's continuing. Look at this.
What's going on?
So this is new. Well, sorry, I'm excited. It's not new. This is a fertilizer I used to use back in Quebec.
Fafard.
It's killer. So this was on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I don't know how old it is, but I was using it 30 years ago. It's organic. It's made from chicken manure. I love this one, Urban Gardener. This is for balcony growers, small space.
No
you don't
way.
need a huge amount of fertilizer, but it's literally...
Are you serious?
So you can salt bay it.
That's so cool. Okay.
Brand new into the West.
Yeah.
And I think all the people that came from Quebec and Ontario, when they see this, they're going to be as excited as I am.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I'm looking at it and I feel like when it tells you on the front of the bag, this is for vegetable gardens.
Yep.
It's not like we're trying to make you guess what this is for. Like if you were growing a specific thing, then you know, okay, I need to look for this specific fertilizer. What's that one again?
That one is the all-purpose. So the base fertilizer in it is chicken manure and it's organic.
Oh, you're kidding. We have all of these in store.
All of them. We've got different size flowers. We have the Urban Gardener. We've got the all-purpose. And family-owned business. They focused on the East Coast where they were from, and now they're finally expanding, and I genuinely couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go take a look downstairs in the greenhouse then and grab some fertilizer.
When you garden this, yeah, you got a new fertilizer.
Yeah, okay, Fafard.
Fafard.
Oh, I like it. Oh, here's something fun.
Okay.
So last weekend, we had Lilac Fest.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yes, we did. So it's officially lilac season in Calgary, which I always love.
Yeah.
I have a lilac in my backyard and it's just starting to bloom and I'm so excited. And Brad and I actually went down to Lilac Fest and it expanded this year.
Expanded even more.
It was huge. It was like 13 avenues. It was crazy.
And there's like hundreds of thousands of people attend, right?
So many people.
Yeah.
Lots of dogs, lots of babies, lots of vendors, lots of small business. It was great. It was vibrant. We get home. You know what Brad says? I didn't see a single lilac. That was stupid.
I almost did a spit take. Oh, I love Brad so much.
I'm like, I love that you went there thinking you were going to get a lilac.
Well, I mean, the clue is kind of in the name.
I guess so. I feel like, yeah, you got to have more like nuances. If there's no lilacs blooming, you got to have some nuances, like some, you know, some 3D structures or.
I like the theme that should be, like lavender and London fog tea. It should be lilac tea
or like everybody has to have a lilac element to their booth.
Exactly. Like
that's such a good idea.
They should go thematic.
Yeah, we should put that. We should send them a letter.
Yeah.
Signed to the helpful gardeners. So helpful. Annoying gardeners.
Only 50% of us have attended your festival.
Well, you sent me something fun on Instagram that I'd love to go over. You sent me a post that said collective nouns for flowers, kind of like how you have like a herd of
cows, a murder of crows.
Exactly.
A parliament of ravens.
Exactly. Yeah. But this one's for flowers, and I haven't seen this yet. So let's kind of go through it. So we've got an intrusion of mint. Is this true or is this made up?
I think it's made up. I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
And, like everybody.
No, they're made up.
Yeah, because I didn't Google anything. I was just like, oh, I like this a lot and sent it straight to you.
You're like those people who just read the headline and they're like, I know the whole story.
In fairness, when it's something important, I do tend to do like a little bit of a deeper dive. But when it's this, I'm like, I don't care if this is real or not. I like it.
Well, let's go through because I think the intrusion of mint is so true because it's so invasive.
It's such a great name.
Yeah, exactly. Next one is a choir of crocus. You know what? It's so true. Whenever you see crocus, they're always in a bunch.
Yep.
A buffet of hostas.
I'm sure the deer named that one.
A boudoir of peonies. I love
spicy.
that. Well, like, I don't know. A peony just seems like a very romantic flower to me. A flurry of snowdrops always kind of blooms early in the season.
And a flurry and snow.
Mm-hmm. A prickle of sea holly. Is sea holly prickly?
Yep.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep.
A dazzle of dahlias. Ooh. And then it says, what collective noun would you give your favorite plant?
Yeah. So, because I have looked at this earlier, one I came up with is a beam of sunflowers.
A giggle of grass. Well, I mean, it's ticklish, right?
Yeah.
You put your feet on it and it tickles.
And you run your hand across it. I sent it to Jenny as well, and Jenny came up with a sea of sweet peas.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
A sweetness of sweet peas.
A sweetness of sweet peas. But the great thing is that, like, could you do house plants? Could you have a slither of snake plants?
Yes. That's really fun. Thanks for sending that. I'm going to pop it up on our show notes so you can go and take a look.
Because it's made up, if anybody else does it themselves, nobody can correct you.
Very true.
Somebody's like, a sea of sweet peas? I always heard it was a sweetness of sweet peas. You're like, no, you're wrong.
You know what? This is actually a good point. If you have a fun one, drop them in the comments and we'll share them on next week's Wednesday episode. Let's see what we can come up with together. Well, today, kind of along the same lines of the flower motif, the FlowerTrials just wrapped up over in Germany.
Yep.
I actually hadn't heard about this until this year. I guess it was because, my algorithm's like, you must love the Chelsea Flower Show. You will also love this that you also can't go to.
You love every flower show. Here is every flower show ever.
Literally.
Yep.
So this one's really interesting. So it happens every June.
Okay.
And it's kind of for the plant industry. And it's sort of like a bunch of inventors get together and show off what they've got.
Got it. So it's people that have cross-pollinated, hybridized. Sure. Does it run? Because I did see it when you sent me some show notes, but I got to be honest, I didn't open it.
Classic.
But is it annuals, perennials, shrubs, trees? So it's open to any category kind of thing?
Vegetables.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Container plants. It's broad category. Okay. The only thing that I don't remember seeing though was house plants really. There must have been house plants, and I just didn't. Obviously, I'm in garden mode.
Exactly.
So I didn't pay attention.
We'll deal with that in October.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll readdress this.
Yeah.
But it's essentially kind of like an open house, and it spans across the Netherlands, Germany, 58 of the world's leading plant breeders. They're basically showing off like their latest genetic innovations. So these are things that, much like the Chelsea Flower Show, could influence what you will see in the garden centers, even here in North America.
It might be a few years before they start coming in, but keep your eye open.
Yeah, and one of them that I actually just spotted that, so in the greenhouse this year, we actually got in a different kind of a cyclamen.
Oh, yeah.
This cyclamen's called Illusia. Did you catch it when it got in the greenhouse?
I didn't.
It's sort of like a frilly cyclamen. Like, you know how cyclamen are kind of very they're structured and they kind of, they
very clean edged, very.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very ordered, very orderly.
Yeah. This one almost seemed a little frillier and it was this beautiful pink color. And I noticed that on the FlowerTrials.
I didn't see that at all.
So it's things like that. So I thought we would kind of go over 10 of the ones that caught my eye and were kind of more standouts. And then a couple of mentions, and then maybe you'll see them in your garden center next spring. So the first one is, as you mentioned, the hydrangea. And this one is, forgive me for the pronunciations here, y'all. Nunki?
Nunki.
Okay,
Nunki.
So this one is got an exceptionally strong stem.
Okay.
They come in pinks and purples, and essentially like you can be turned upside down without damage.
So it's like, we got to do that, like is Dairy Queen?
Yeah, we're all gonna get trained.
Yeah,
and
like, is that a nunky? You're like,
if the bloom falls off, it's not a nunky.
Oh, that's it. Because a lot of people have asked me about staking hydrangeas.
Really?
Especially ones like the PG. The flower gets so big, so the shrub looks great. And I actually quite like the aesthetic. It's almost not as bad, but if you don't stake a peony.
Yeah.
You know how they kind of fall apart?
Yeah.
Some of those flowers get so big, the hydrangea, instead of standing up almost like a rose, the branches start bowing down. And a lot of people go, can I stake it? Can I put a ring on it? And I say, settle down, Beyonce.
I was just going there. Well, yeah, because we have peony rings. Yeah. And I never really knew like if you could use those for hydrangeas as well.
Small hydrangeas, yes, but some hydrangeas are way too big.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, hey?
Yeah.
The second one is a lavender. This one's called Fantasia Early Purple, and it'll bloom much, much earlier than standard lavenders, and it has this sort of alluring purple hue that pollinators will absolutely love. Okay. And so, you know, we're always talking about supporting our pollinators earlier in the season, so this is one of those options. Now, if your garden center gets them early, that's the other question, but it is genetically bred to do that. So that's
interesting.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love lavender?
Yeah. And this one is, it kind of looks, you know, there's different kinds of lavenders. There's English, Spanish. Yeah. This one looks like a Spanish lavender, I think.
Hola.
Hola?
Hola. Spanish for hello.
Hola.
Hola. It's Hola. I like to pronounce all my letters.
Sorry. Yeah,
actually, I'm terrible with other languages. So I just read verbatim.
Just kidding.
That's why my French is garbage.
Well, this one's kind of cool. I didn't realize that you actually liked anemones, but this is an anemone.
Love anemones.
It's called Dancing Swan. And it's a dream for shade lovers. It's a compact plant that gets its early start in the season and will continue to bloom from spring right through to autumn, which in Canada, that's a huge plus.
Wow.
We need all of the blooms that we can get.
I remember years ago when I was landscaping, I was working with a rookie, and I can't remember how I worded it, but I said something about the anemone, and what he heard was an enemy.
Oh.
And he was like, what? I'm like, no. I need you to go over there and deadhead the enemy. Like, wait a minute, I thought we were landscaping. But
weeds are the enemy.
I've always loved anemones. They're such a cool flower.
They really are. Kind of mounding. It's almost like you get a thriller and a filler all in one. You could do a pot just of an anemone.
Yeah, and there's perennial anemones too. Like they run the gamut. I've never seen one I don't like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This one I know you also like. The next one is osteospermum. And there's this sort of line of osteospermum called gelato, which sounds delicious, but you can get what they've named them all like food names.
Okay.
So you've got like candy white, raspberry, peach, lemon, vanilla. You get the picture.
That sounds delicious. Yeah, you're right, actually.
The one that just came out is called cranberry. And it's got this sort of...
Does it get stuck in your head?
I didn't know where you're going with that. This one will, though, because I love the deep hue of it. It's very vibrant color. And it almost kind of plays to the gardener that likes to collect them all.
Okay.
You know, I actually...
Is it a deep cranberry color?
Mm-hmm. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like it could complement a lot of planters. And... you know, I heard about somebody a couple weeks ago who they like to collect dianthus in their garden. So they basically like Pokemon cards, like whatever you can collect these days. They collect like plants.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine, you know, if you love osteospermum and you're like, I'm going to collect them all and showcase them all in my garden, especially if you do garden tours, you can be like, oh.
I knew somebody who was that way with hostas.
Oh, really?
Any new hosta, they had to have it. They had hosta beds. And
that's a lot of hosta.
Yeah, they were willing for some of the more common ones to let them go, just like Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Okay, this one is, again, the name is going to be interesting. Catharanthus,
okay.
Yeah, soiree.
Ooh.
Love these names. So it does really good in scorching summer. You know how we're talking about plants that just thrive in heat? So this is one of
these
them.
These are all like, do you pick these because they're all like Alberta bound? Like,
well, partly, but also just kind of like, you know, a mix of some that you like, a mix of some that would do well here, things that I really like. It's kind of how I approach the garden center in general whenever I'm shopping.
Fair.
But this one's bushy, it's compact. And yeah, again, if you have a heat sink or anything and you want to put a sun-loving annual planter there, then something like this could do really well. Next one is bleeding heart. So the Dicentra passion hearts. This one features sort of like dark and light combined petals against fern-like blue foliage. So you know how bleeding heart can have like a few different types of leaves. So this is the more fern-like. And it's almost kind of like a blue color with this bright, bright pink.
Oh, that would be stunning.
It really would be.
Bleeding heart's amazing plant.
Yeah. But usually you see sort of the lighter colors like whites and light pinks and stuff like that. And this is more of like a dark, dark pink. The next one is Thalastrum cotton candy. I can say cotton candy. So it's a vigorous grower, produces masses of soft pink flowers on upright stems, and they'll basically add beauty to like it high up. You know how like there's a lot of plants that are focused more on like the lower side?
That's also great, again, to go back to the first one or the second one, whichever, lavender.
Yeah.
Great for pollinators.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get your advertising boards out there.
For the vegetables, there wasn't a lot. But this one I thought was interesting considering the fact that a lot of people are moving towards small space gardening. So this one is called Peas and Pod Bernard. I imagine it's like the breeder's dog and they're like, I need to honor my dog in some way. I don't know. Bernard seems like a dog name. So it's a new pea variety specifically for pots.
Okay. I was literally just talking to somebody last week about peas in a pot.
Peas in a pot.
2 peas in a pot.
Why didn't they call it that?
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. So it fits perfectly in a pot, raised beds, or any space in small home garden. They're kind of like a sugary sweet flavor, which I always love. The other one that I want to point out was it's a poinsettia.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting to see a poinsettia on this list.
No, maybe it's changed. So speaking as somebody who was born and raised in Europe.
Yeah.
Never saw a poinsettia in my life except for movies until we came to North America.
Wow.
Never saw. Now, maybe it's changed. Yeah. Maybe the poinsettia has become more popular in Europe.
Yep.
There's a lot of places in Europe that would have a similar climate to Mexico, so maybe they're growing them more regularly. I never saw a poinsettia in my life.
Well, personally, I feel like growing up, I only saw one kind of poinsettia or two at most.
The traditional.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I think it's sort of become commoditized because it's like the iconic, besides like the Christmas tree or the amaryllis or whatever, it's become an iconic symbol of Christmas. And so you can kind of bet that everybody who celebrates Christmas is likely going to buy a poinsettia. Or poinsettia. I'm going to get flagged for that. Sorry if you're listening and you're like, it's poinsettia. And now you're starting to see so many different varieties of it coming in. And this is going to be another one. And this one's called Superbog Galaxy. And it actually looks like...
Is it like the Galaxy petunias?
It kind of looks like it. I don't know if it's like the same line.
Okay.
But it definitely has a very striking appearance. So... maybe look for that one in your local garden center around Christmas
I'm going to start calling them Poinsettia Edia and just make everybody happy.
I feel like as long as you apologize at the beginning, hey, I'm going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Poinsettia Edia.
And the last one is called Rose Lily Kyra. So this is a double flowering oriental lily, which is one of the most popular ones in arrangements. They are pollen-free. So you know how they usually have the little...
You touch them and you got Cheeto fingers.
Exactly. That's awesome. These ones, they'll not only prevent stains on clothing, but they also offer a light, pleasant fragrance.
Okay.
They will last up to 4 days longer than traditional oriental lilies. And for somebody like Brad, who loves to buy me flowers, but also has seasonal allergies, and lily is his worst enemy.
And you're thinking, especially for cut flowers, bouquets, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm thinking they last longer because there's nothing to pollinate.
Yeah.
So the only thing I will say, I read a report, And it was talking about a lot of these new hybrid annuals don't produce pollen, so the flowers last longer.
Mm-hmm.
But the bees don't know that until they get to it.
Oh.
So if you have tons of them, the bees are visiting every flower and getting nothing out of it, and they're exhausting themselves for zero reward.
Good point.
So what it was saying is absolutely use them, but make sure you intersperse them with ones that do feed the bees.
Yeah. So I imagine if you were saying maybe you were a grower of this kind of plant and you had an entire acre full of them, then maybe you want to intersperse some other flowers so that you don't harm the. Yeah,
maybe put something out there. Again, that's a report I read. I'm not a bee expert.
It's a very valid point, though, if it's true. Absolutely.
If you're using them in your garden, especially, just intersperse. Just put something out there.
Yeah. Other standouts that we won't spend too much time on because we've got to wrap up here is the quadruple begonia. It's multi-layered flower heads, so it's just a fuller begonia.
So they just took 2 double begonias and
smash.
Smoosh.
They smashed it, not past it. There's also the trailing snapdragon, which is good for hanging baskets.
I love snapdragons, but they can always look a little weird in a pot unless they're framed.
Yeah.
Stand-up snapdragons with trailers.
Right? I would love that. And
Your
then
spiller became a thriller.
What? And then there's also this one called Sedum spurium. And I know that we love sedum. Sedum is very versatile here. And it just has this deep, deep flower color, which I really hope we get because I want to involve more sedum in my own garden.
At Nathan.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So there you go. Some 10 of the coolest plants that I saw. However, there are so many that you can go and check it out. You can go and check it out who the breeders are and learn more. Some of them I even noticed, we carry here at Golden Acre.
A puff of snapdragons. That comes from Puff the Magic Dragon.
I was gonna say.
A puff of snapdragons.
A puff of snapdragons. What else? Oh gosh. Happy hydrangeas.
Happiness of hydrangeas. I can go with that.
Oh, now I want to keep going.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the Helpful Gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!
Hosting the Helpful Gardeners has been extremely helpful in my gardening journey, but I have a secret weapon that I really want to show you today, and that is the Yard Smart program, developed in partnership between the City of Calgary and the Calgary Horticultural Society. It's so great. I wish more cities across the country had something like this because they have free online guides for different garden types. So a sun-loving garden or a perennial garden or a trees and shrubs garden or a pollinator-friendly garden. And I love their free videos over on their website, and they cover different topics like gardening on a budget or starting a garden bed from scratch, which if you've been following the podcast this year, that has been my main garden goal. You have to go online and check it out. Head to calgary.ca/yardsmart, or you can head in-store to Golden Acre Home and Garden here in Calgary, Alberta, and pick up your free copies of their guides today.